There are two words that you will come across as you travel the meditative path. One is samadhi and the other samatha. Again, both Pali words. My understanding is that samatha refers to any training in calming the mind, calming anything that is agitated in mind and in body. Samadhi is often seen as being the fruit of this calming, the mind that can sustain both intention and attention. Both words are frequently or mostly preceded by the word samma, which means right or wise attentiveness that has its roots in ethics and has the aspiration of freeing the mind, freeing the heart from agitation and traveling a path of awakening, of liberation. More accurately, the word samadhi and samatha too really translates as to gather together, or to collect together. The image that is sometimes used in the text is one of gathering harvested corn or wheat and bringing it together into a kind of oneness, a unified whole. I think of this as the integration or the unification of body, mind, and present moment. And I think as we reflect on our own experience, we see that this unification or this integration is often absent. That our body is in one place, our mind is occupying some other place, and the present moment is frequently just forgotten. The image that I often refer to or use is the image of a very skilled sheepdog. And in Wales, they have these sheepdogs, and actually throughout the country, they have these sheepdogs that are sent out in the autumn to gather together the sheep that are spread over the hillsides, on the mountainsides, and to gather the sheep from the pastures that have dried out and no longer nourish them, where the sheep are not thriving. And a wise sheepdog never intimidates or harms the sheep in this process. But they gather them together and move the sheep from these pastures that are worn out and guide them and lead them to pastures where they will flourish and thrive. In the practice of developing samadhi, we are doing much the same within the landscape of our own minds and our own hearts. We're gathering and collecting our attention from places, from pastures where we don't thrive. The fields of rumination, the fields of distractedness, of obsession, of proliferating thought and stories and narratives, where we too often simply become exhausted. And we're learning to gather our attention from those fields and guide our attention into this mind, into this body, in a collected, a unifying way. And this is the pasture. This is the field where we do begin to thrive. We're guiding our attentional capacity into the fields of calmness, into the fields of mindfulness, into the fields of stillness, the landscape of heart and mind, where we flourish, where there is creativity, where there is appropriate responsiveness, where there is a way of inhabiting the moment that we find ourselves in.